Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I film a lot of lifestyle videos along with a little bit of travel, which is what we're talking about today. So our family loves Disney World. It's hard not to make it our entire personality sometimes, but honestly, I love all travel. Disney's just our favorite, so we end up doing that more often, but I love all travel, and my husband and I love all theme parks and amusement parks. It's like our hobby is visiting a lot of them. So we go to Cedar Point often because we live close to that. We've been a couple places here and there, but this summer we are going to Dollywood. It's actually our second trip. Our first trip we took this past November, just Luke and I. So even though it's been a few months, I thought it would be fun to go back and talk about two first-timers going to Dollywood who typically love Disney World. So we are going again this summer with our whole family. So I thought before we go again, now that we're like veterans, I guess, I thought I would give kind of like a first-timer report and review about what we thought of Dollywood, especially as people who go to Disney World often and have pretty high standards, I would say. So that's what we're talking about today before we take our next trip, which I will be vlogging and sharing, and that's happening pretty soon. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to follow along for all of that. So my husband and I, like I said, we took a trip this past November to Pigeon Forge. It was a little birthday trip for me, just the two of us, and it was a great little trip. We also went on our honeymoon to Pigeon Forge a long time ago. So things were like before we even had smartphones. So things were a little bit different this time, where you could just go on Google and like look for reviews for restaurants and places like that. I feel like it was so much easier. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent already. But we did one day to just kind of explore Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. And then we did 2 days at Dollywood because we wanted to like take our time, take it all in. So that was our plan this past November. And I'll be inputting like a whole bunch of B-roll videos from when we were there last time. So I'm going to talk about a few different like categories. And then at the end, I'll give like my overall thoughts about the whole theme park of Dollywood. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is kind of the ambiance, the vibes, the way that it feels when you go to Disney World. Like there's nothing else like that. You walk in and you're like transported into another world where reality doesn't matter. And that's what we love about it. I mean, it still does, but you can pretend like it doesn't for a few days while you're there. So we love a park that's very immersive and that can remove you from, your everyday life. And Dollywood was so great in that way. And we were there in November, so it was still warm. It was like in the 70s when we were there, but it just felt, I would say the biggest word to describe the entire theme park is cozy. And you don't really think of like coziness when you think of theme parks, but with Dollywood, I would say you do. It's definitely so cozy. The whole place is just like a warm hug, and I loved it so much. There's several different lands in Dollywood. I remember we parked in the preferred parking area, which was a little bit more money, but we wanted to be able to get to and from our car quickly. So we did pay for that last time. And I remember it was funny. It was like we parked and we were walking in and you could see like you could see like the ticket booth and like the beginning part of, I'm not sure what, like Main Street. I'm not sure what the term for their Main Street is, but you could see it a little bit, but you couldn't see like all of the rides and everything. It was all just kind of hidden. And the way that they built the park, it's like all of the rides and everything are just kind of built into the trees and the hills. And it's all very, you're very much like in nature, I guess, while you're there. And I really liked that. It's different and unique in that way. It all feels like kind of like country, down home vibes, like feelings. So the different lands they have, let me see, I'm going to look on my phone here. There's Show Street. Okay, so that would be like their Main Street. And it was decorated for Christmas when we were there, and it just felt so pretty and kind of magical, and just like it got you ready for the day ahead. It was really fun. And then next you have Timber Canyon, which there's like a mine ride. What was it called? Mystery Mine ride was there. Then you have Wilderness Pass, Craftsman's Valley, Owen's Farm, which I think is like the children's area. The Village. Oh, that's where like the train and stuff are. The Country Fair, Rivertown Junction. I almost want to say it with the southern accent. Jukebox Junction. Oh, that's where, that was like kind of looked like the 50s section. There's Lightning Rod, which is my favorite ride there. The Dolly Parton experience, which we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then Wildwood Grove, that is the newest area. And it's just kind of, what is the word? It was like really great for kids. There were a lot of things for kids there, but it felt kind of like magical, and it was just really cool. So you can tell just based on the names of the different lands, kind of the theming there. It's almost as if the whole park kind of has that like Frontierland feel if you want to compare it to Disney World. So the overall ambiance there is like 10 out of 10 stars. We loved it, especially, it'll be interesting going in the summertime because we were there in early November, but they already had their like Christmas festival going on, and it was magical. I loved it so much. So it'll be like a totally different feeling, I think, in the summer, but I think we'll still love it. Another thing that's really cool about just like the vibes there are that they have these old buildings. Like they have this old church building, and it actually has Sunday services every week, which I thought was really cool. And then there's this old schoolhouse you can go through, and you can also tour like a replica of Dolly's childhood home, which it was decorated for Christmas when we were there. It was so sweet. So just like little touches like that, that are different, that are unique, that you're not gonna see at other theme parks. There's even like a bald eagle sanctuary where all of these bald eagles who are not healthy enough to live in the wild can live here at Dollywood, and we saw like dozens of them. It was just, I mean, just really unique things like that. We were really impressed, and I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout this video. Okay, the next thing, and the main thing that Luke and I go to a theme park or an amusement park for, are the rides. So let's talk about the attractions and the rides at Dollywood. So we are used to Cedar Point, which Cedar Point has some of the tallest, fastest, most thrilling roller coasters in the world. So we're used to rides like that, but we also go to Disney a lot where you have mostly more tame rides, but very themed rides and a little bit more mild like coasters and stuff. Dollywood, I would say, is very much like in between those two extremes. They have a couple of rides that are very thrilling, like much more thrilling than anything at any of the Disney parks. But then they also have a lot of stuff for kids. So it really is a good mix for everybody. So I'm gonna look at the attractions here, just highlight a few. So like I said, our favorite, I think Luke's too, I think both of our favorite ride there was Lightning Rod. So this is a roller coaster. It's very high. It's like wooden, but it has like steel tracks, so it's very smooth. And it's unique. Like the way it makes you feel is unique. There's a couple of spots where it just kind of goes like this. I don't know how to explain that. But yeah, that one was so much fun. And when we were there in November, I don't know if we just got lucky and we were there. We went on a Friday and a Saturday. So the Saturday was a little bit more crowded, but on the Friday, we walked on to Lightning Rod. Like, I think we were at like 4 times that day. It was insane. Like, we didn't need the, whatever they call their fast pass system. I don't know what they call it, but there was no need for that in November. So I'm sure in July, it's going to be much more, like, much busier and more crowded. So we'll have to see. I will definitely report back on like the wait times and the busyness and crowds and stuff like that. But in November, it was amazing. Like we could almost walk on anything. It was so pleasant. So yeah, we rode that one like 4 times because we loved it. The next one that we loved was Wild Eagle. There is a coaster very similar to this at Cedar Point. And I don't know how to explain it very well. Hopefully I got a video and I'll show, but like the part of the coaster that is attached to the track is like right here. And then there are like two wings because it's an eagle coming out on the sides, and the wings are like where you're sitting. So you're sitting there, there's nothing below you. And it really feels like you're flying. And that one was pretty intense too. And it was a lot of fun. We rode that one 3 or 4 times too, between the 2 different days. We rode it during the day, we rode it at night. It was super fun. And then the other one that we thought was pretty thrilling, and I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to give anything away. A lot of it is like indoors, and we had no idea what was going to happen going into it. But the other one that we thought was pretty thrilling was Mystery Mine. We had no idea what this ride was. We just walked because we didn't do like a lot of research. We just kind of wanted to go in blind. So we go in, we're like, oh, Mystery Mine. This kind of looks like just a kiddie little ride. And you get in your seats, and we were just like not quite ready for it. And it takes off, and we were both like, oh my gosh, we were not expecting it to be quite that intense, but it was a little rough. So I try to just kind of like, I don't know if this is good or bad because I'm short. So my head, often the shoulder straps will come up to like here and my head will bang against it and I'll just get a headache. So I have found if I like really keep my neck like tight and try not to let myself bounce around too much, that is a more pleasant ride experience than banging my head against everything. And this was one of those rides I definitely had to like kind of tighten up my muscles a little bit. I don't know if that's good or bad. Like I might end up being sore the next day from doing that. But anyway, that one was a little rough, but it was a lot of fun. If you don't mind having it be a little bit rough. That one was like themed. It was just like really fun. It was kind of part dark ride, part coaster. So don't skip that one. It was super fun. A couple more that we thought were fun, but like not necessarily like standout coasters, but still a little more on the thrilling side, were Thunderhead. That one, I believe, was the wooden coaster. Yeah, it was a little rough too, but not too bad. Definitely not too bad. Just like I would say a typical wooden coaster. Sorry, I'm looking down at my phone so I can remember all of these. And then Tennessee Tornado was another one. It had like some big loops in it. It was like not the most unique coaster in the world, but it was still fun. We loved it. And then there were a couple more that were a little more tame coasters that would be good for kids. So the first one is Dragon Flyer. It is a coaster where the track is above you and your car kind of hangs down. We thought that one was probably our least favorite ride there. Kids that are just like getting comfortable with coasters would probably like that one. We thought it was like kind of short and boring, but that might be a good one for kids if they are just starting to get into coasters. Big Bear Mountain, I have to say, was closed when we were there. So I can't give a review on that yet. I'm excited to ride it this time, but I do know that's more of a family coaster, a little more tame, but that one's their newest ride. So we definitely want to check that out this trip. I think Scarlett's excited to ride that, my 11-year-old. Oh, Fire Chaser Express. This one is more of a kiddie coaster. I would say it was very tame. It's still a coaster. Like if your kids don't like coasters, then don't ride it. But it was really cool. There was some really fun theming on that, and it does go backwards for like a portion of the ride. So that was super fun. We enjoyed that. We thought Scarlett would really like that one too. I think Emma is going to be like 2 inches too short to ride some of these little starter coasters. So maybe next time. But Scarlett can ride everything. The other ride that was closed when we were there is Blazing Fury. Is that what it's called? I think so. And I have seen other people ride it on vlogs and stuff, and it looks like half very mild coaster, half dark ride, and it looks kind of like kitschy and crazy. So I really hope we can ride that one because I love like really just weird old rides like that. So I'm hoping we can ride that one this time too. We didn't get it. It was closed last time, both days we were there, so we didn't get a chance to ride it. Those are the main rides that we rode that I can think of. So there are plenty more rides. There's a lot of like little kiddie rides, like the Scrambler. There's rides for little kids. And then like toddlers, preschoolers. There's just like a little bit for everybody. But the one ride that everybody can ride and that everybody probably would love is the train. We rode the train and it was at Christmas time, so it was extra special, but it's like an actual working steam train. It's like probably like a 15 to 20 minute train ride, and it goes all around. You go up on the hillside and you get these nice views of Dollywood. And I feel like my 1-year-old and my 3-year-old are going to love this train. They both like trains, especially my son. So we're excited for that. That actually, funny story, but that was the longest line we waited in at Christmas time. And it might, or when we went at Christmas time, and it might have been because it was Christmas time, because you do get to go around this area where there were like all these little Christmas trees and Christmas lights that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. So I don't know, we'll see if the line is as long, but it only goes like, I'm not sure how often, but it's only like at certain periods of time. So when we were there was like so many people lined up for the train that we waited, and then the train came in and they loaded it, and there was a whole train load. It was already full before we got on. So we had to wait like for a whole train ride and then another one. But we were there for 2 days and we figured we can wait, it's fine. But I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if we have to wait that long. I think it ended up being like 45 minutes to an hour that we waited for the train. But I feel like it's like one of those things, those special things about Dollywood that you can't miss. So hopefully when it's not Christmas time, it won't be quite as busy at the train, but we'll see. So yeah, there's so many fun things to do, so many fun rides, and like such a variety too. So yeah, for the rides, I gotta give it a 10 out of 10 too, because I feel like there's such a variety. I feel like there's even more of a variety. I mean, clearly not as many rides as Disney World, but I think there's more of a variety because you have like the really tame rides, but then they have the more thrilling rides too. Obviously, there's not quite the range. There's not gonna be as many unique rides, but I mean, we really loved it. Like, we were very impressed when we went by the rides, by everything really. Okay, we can't talk about a theme park without talking about the food. And Disney World, I feel like, since we're used to that, I keep comparing it to Disney, but since we're used to that, I feel like there are some very mediocre places to eat in Disney World, but then there are some very, very high-end, delicious, great restaurants in Disney World. So we were only there for 2 days, so it's not like we got to taste everything that they have to offer, but the food we did have was great. And I just want to highlight a couple of things. So first of all, you will never hear, I mean, never say never, but I bet you will never hear someone give a review about Dollywood without mentioning this cinnamon bread. And if you know anything about Dollywood, I'm sure you already know about their famous cinnamon bread. It's one of those things where you hear it and it's so hyped up and you're like, okay, this is so hyped up in my mind. Is it really going to be as good as what I'm picturing? And let me tell you, yes, it is. It's better. Luke and I both told Scarlett on separate occasions. She was kind of like we were kind of between the beach and Tennessee for our trip this year. And Tennessee is what was decided. So Scarlett was like a little bit not that excited about it. And Luke and I were trying to build it up because she wanted to go to the beach. And we were talking about Dollywood. And I said, Scarlett, I think I was talking to her separate, like it was just Scarlett and I. And I said, Scarlett, I would pay for a ticket to Dollywood just for the cinnamon bread. And she said, Daddy said the same thing. So apparently Luke had said the same thing to her earlier, but I'm like, I'm not kidding. Like, I would pay for a ticket to Dollywood for that cinnamon bread. We ended up, both days we were there, we got a loaf of the cinnamon bread and we ate the whole thing both times, just Luke and I. So yes, just that alone is like, 10 out of 10 is not a high enough. We have to break the scale for this one. It's amazing. You have to get some if you go there. They have like apple butter or icing that you can dip it in. And I was like, that we don't even need that. Like, the bread is so good on its own. So anyway, how long have I been talking about cinnamon bread? I don't know, but it deserves it, let me tell you. So yeah, you have to get the cinnamon bread. So good. We ate, the only other things we ate there, we ate at this little food stand. They have kind of different festivals and stuff throughout the year. And we ate something for the Christmas festival. It was like a limited time thing. And I don't think it was like the best thing in the world, but the second day we were there, we ate at Aunt Granny's. This is another thing that I feel like I hear mentioned a lot when people are talking about Dollywood. So It's this restaurant, and if you want to eat there, get your name in like early. They have like a waiting list. So you go and give your name, and they'll tell you how long it's going to be, but they text you when it's ready. So you just go about your day, go through the park, whatever, and you'll get a text when your table is ready. So Luke and I, when we went in November, it was on a Saturday that we went to Aunt Granny's. We put our name in around dinner time, and I think it was like 2 or 2.5 hours that we had to wait, which we were expecting. It was fine. So we went about our night and rode a whole bunch of rides and stuff in between. And then when it was time for us, like I said, they just texted us, and then you go in. They have a menu. I will try to pop it up on the screen, but it's like, you have different choices, like a prefix menu. So you can pick like 3 out of 5 things for like your sides, and then you pick your entree, and then you pick your dessert. There's just like a list of things to choose from. Everything we ate was like 10 out of 10. I know this is getting redundant. I'm rating everything 10 out of 10, but it was so good. I hope we go there again next time. But it was just, and for us, it was like getting a little chilly in the evening, and it was all the Christmas lights were glowing, and we go in and it basically was like a Thanksgiving dinner, and it was just like the vibes were so high, like just the coziness. Like I said, it's so cozy. We had the best time at Dollywood. We really did. And part of it might have been that it was just the two of us after like a really chaotic first year of having 3 kids. But no, I think we'll see. Even when we bring our kids this summer, let's see if my rating is still this high. But I think it will be. That was just like such a good night, such a cozy night. It was our last night in Tennessee. And that was the perfect place to eat, especially around that time of year. But I think it would be good any time of year. So anyway, I've talked a long time about the food. Everything we ate was really good. So, and I know different times of the year, they have different festivals, and they have different things that they offer. So definitely a highlight. Definitely do some research and find some things that are popular and have high ratings. So, and I highly, highly recommend Aunt Granny's, and of course the cinnamon bread. Another thing that Dollywood is kind of special and known for is their live entertainment. And I know a lot of theme parks and amusement parks have live entertainment, but when we went, they have just a lot of different offerings. When we went, again, it was at Christmas time, so we saw this little Christmas show, and it was live music. All the musicians were very talented. We also watched an a cappella group that they did a lot of like pentatonic songs, and we really enjoyed that. And I believe there's a show that like Dolly Parton's niece is actually in. We didn't see that one, but maybe this time. So the entertainment is great too. Just another added thing, that's kind of above and beyond. Yeah, we liked all of the shows we saw, and maybe we'll see some more. I think there is like this summer, like for the summer festival. I don't know what the name of it is, but like I said, there's festivals basically going on all year long, even more than like Epcot. But I think there's like a bubble show for the summer, and I think my kids are going to go crazy. My 1-year-old, there's this Blippi video where it's like he does all these different bubbles with this bubbleologist, she calls herself. And every day he wakes up in the morning, the first thing he says, Blippi bubbles, Blippi bubbles. He loves bubbles. So I'm like, oh, he's going to go crazy for this bubble show. So hopefully we can see that when we're there too. And that kind of brings me to like the different seasonal offerings. That's another thing that's really unique and special. I feel like even though we've only gone once, we'll see after this trip, but I feel like if you go different times of the year, you're getting like a completely different experience. So in this summer, they have their summer festival. There's like the bubble show. I don't know. We'll see what's there. I'm not even totally sure. I know at night there's like a drone show and a fireworks show that I'm excited about. When we were there at Christmas, there were absolutely beautiful Christmas lights everywhere. There were Christmas shows, Christmas food offerings. And then in the springtime, I feel like they do like a food festival or something. I'm not sure. But then in the fall, they have like their pumpkin festival. And They have thousands of pumpkins all carved and lit up at night. I would love to go in the fall too. So another really cool, unique thing about Dollywood is that you get a different experience different times of the year. I feel like I'm talking with my hands so much. I'm a speech therapist and I can't help it. But anyway, another thing that I really liked about Dollywood is the shopping. There are some really cute, unique little shops. And I want to say they have like some like local things there that you can buy. I think I'll have to report back when we go back, but there's a bunch of different shopping and there's like unique things in each gift shop. So that was really cool. I'm scared to go there with my kids because they're going to want to buy all the things, but yeah, that was fun too. Just, our second day, we kind of just took it easy. We did a lot of shopping too. So that was fun. There's like a little Christmas shop, just like Disney World too. So another plus is all the shopping. So I feel like I've talked about all the different categories that I wanted to talk about. And I don't think I have said one negative thing. If I have, let me know. And I'm trying to rack my brain right now for something negative to say about Dollywood. And I got nothing. Like really, I was so impressed. That is like the main word I can think of to describe our first experience at Dollywood last November. We were so impressed. Like we thought it would be cool. We thought it would be like, all right, we can check off another theme park from our bucket list. But it was like, no, wait, this is actually like one of my top, maybe second favorite now theme parks. I mean, I've never been to Disneyland, so I can't rank that one yet. But like right now, my ranking is like Disney World, Dollywood. I love it so much. I would go there every year. Like there's something about it, that coziness. Oh, I forgot about the whole Dolly experience. So let's rewind a little bit. There's a whole like Dolly Parton museum and you can tour her tour bus. You can go through, there's one building that has like all of her costumes and dresses and shoes and all that fun stuff. That was really awesome too. Like that's a whole nother thing. That's newer, I think. But another thing that you're obviously not going to get at other theme parks. And honestly, like I love Dolly Parton so much. Like, why do I even feel like I'm getting emotional? I don't know. I just feel like she is one of those people that like her heart is so big for other people. Like I love her whole imagination library. I'm sure you're probably familiar that you can get books every month for your kids up to age 5. And she like founded all of that. And I think she is so special and I love her. And it was really fun to go. I think she is a musical genius. And going through her museum made that very clear. So I loved that too. That was something different and unique. But now, moving on to my overall rating, I gotta give the whole place a 10 out of 10. I know I sound like a broken record, but there's nothing bad to say. There's not. It was clean. It was cozy. There were so many great rides, great food, great atmosphere, great shows, great shopping. We had not one single thing negative happen while we were there. Everyone was very friendly, very nice. It will be interesting. Like I said, when we were there, the crowds were very low. So it'll be interesting to see in the middle of summer what it's like, especially when it's going to be very hot, I'm sure, too. So I will be sure to report back. I'll have to do a trip report after this next trip in the summer, too. But if you're thinking about going to Dollywood, go. Like, just go. Don't even question it. You will love it. And they have, like, some really good deals, too. We were able to, there was a promotion going on and we bought like 2 tickets for the price of 1 for everyone in our family. So we're going for 2 days for the price of 1 day, basically. So keep your eye open for that, but totally recommend going. And it's so much more relaxed than Disney World. That's my one complaint about Disney World is that there's never a time when it's not busy. It's always crowded. It's always chaotic. It's so overstimulating. And Dollywood is not that way. It might be different in the summer, but when we were there, it was not that way. It was like we could just slowly walk around, take in all the sights, enjoy our time, got everything done easily that we wanted to do and then some. So that I think is where it's got Disney World a little, is it's definitely a more relaxed atmosphere for sure. So I'm so excited to go back, and I'm so excited to bring my kids. I have a feeling it will not be quite so relaxed with my 3-year-old, my 1-year-old, my 3-year-old, and my 11-year-old. Actually, she'll be 12. She'll be 12 when we go. But yeah, we'll make the most of it, and I will definitely report back on our experience going with kids this time. Oh, and I wanted to talk too about just the area in general. Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, we love the area. We went to Anakista, we went to the island shopping, we went to the little Christmas shop last time. On our honeymoon, we went to the Ripley's Aquarium, and we like, I always say you could go to Dollywood, you could go to Pigeon Forge 20 times and not do the same thing twice. And the food, oh my gosh, so much good food, so much good food. So yeah, the whole area, I love it. I'm so excited to go back. So we're spending a whole week in that area with my whole family. So I'm sure I will be, pretty soon I'll be posting, I'll make like a packing vlog, and I'll vlog while we're there, and then I'll have to report back when we get home. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that fun stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.